Welcome into Bills Tonight Digital, presented by ECMC. I'm Maddie Glabman. I'm here with former Bill Fred Jackson. Now, Fred, the defense dominated in this game on the Bills side. The offense came out, had a slow first half. Second half looked like a new offense, had some adjustments, got on the scoreboard, but it wasn't enough to get the win. 16-10, the Patriots take this one. What does this game come down to for you?
Just not making enough plays, or even being on the same page. You see the way the game ended. The offensive line and the running back, they just weren't on the same page. You get a sack throw or gets hit as he throws, and they get an interception to seal the game. So just a lot of sloppy plays that, could be eliminated and give you a better chance to win the game.
The defense put the offense in good situations time and time again. They just couldn't capitalize off of those opportunities, unfortunately.
Yeah, and when you're playing a tough team like New England, when the defense is doing its job, you want some help from the offense, and they just didn't get that today. And, there's a bunch of things they can go back and look at the film and whatever schemes it was they were trying to get done, they just didn't get it done today, and New England was able to come out with the win.
The head coach for the Bills, Sean McDermott, he's on the podium with his thoughts after today's game.
Okay, we'll open it up to your questions.
Any update on Josh?
Yeah, from what I know so far, he's in the protocol at this point.
What was your impression of that play and the fact that Jonathan Jones was not ejected?
Yeah, there's no room in football for that. It's a shame to see a player like Josh, or any player for that matter, go down with a hit like that.
Overall, Sean, we've got to talk about both quarterbacks. Start with Josh. Lots of struggles, the turnovers, all the things that you knew you had to avoid. Your assessment of why it kind of went that way, where he was off target and had those interceptions.
Yeah, he didn't take what the defense was giving him, and he's got to learn from that. So we're going to continue to drill that home, and I think you saw some of that when we came out, when we did move the ball, and then the first drive of the second half, you saw some of that, Vic, to your point. So he's got to learn from that.
Feel like you let New England off the hook a little bit today?
Well, we had opportunities. We had opportunities. I thought our defense played outstanding. They block a punt. We turn the ball over. Chance to win the game multiple times there. And so we've got to learn from this and continue to grow as a football team.
How disappointing is that in the sense that, because we had talked this week and you had harped on ball security, right, especially after his interception last week, and those weren't deflected balls, those were some poor decisions.
Yeah, it is absolutely something we have to continue to harp on, and he has to continue to learn. He's a young quarterback, and sometimes they have to learn those lessons, those hard lessons, and we have to continue to coach it up.
Sean, you don't want him to stop being aggressive and looking for passes that might be tough, but you still want him to attempt. But do you worry at this point, after so many times of him rolling right and making bad decisions, that he doesn't know where that line is?
Well, we have to continue to make that very clear with where that line is.
Coach, do you feel like your defense really went toe-to-toe with the Patriots' defense? I mean, this was a defensive battle for sure. Did you feel like your D measured up today to that group?
Yeah, we don't play their defense, Chris. Our defense plays their offense, and you know that. And I thought our defense gave us a chance to win the game today. They really did, and I appreciate that effort. I thought it was a good plan. It's a good offense. We had opportunities to win the game, and we whether penalties on offense or block punt. So opportunities to win the game, we've got to capitalize, but I'm confident we'll learn from it, and we'll grow.
What led to the breakdown on the block punt?
I don't want to get into too much. We do play them again here, so just poor execution on our part.
When Barkley came in, I mean, he converts that 3rd and 8 first play. Are you thinking, here we go, like offense, like converted a big play down there?
I'm very confident in Matt. Yeah, very confident in Matt Barkley. Came in last year, did a nice job. You see it every day in practice. So very confident in Matt.
Going off that play, was that by design to attack that one-on-one, or was that a read by Matt?
Which play?
His first throw to John Brown.
He was just going through his progression. Yeah, just going through his progression.
Sean, you're obviously not into moral victories, but is there anything positive you can take, particularly from the defensive performance if this is a measuring stick kind of game?
Yeah, and I know that was asked earlier in the week in terms of the measuring stick. I just know where we're headed as an organization, and I'm confident in that. And we've got to continue to grow, continue to learn from these type of opportunities and these type of challenges, and give them credit. They won the game, right? That's where we start. We learn from this, and we continue to grow, and be honest with ourselves as to why we didn't get the result that we were looking for. And if we do that, we'll move in the right direction, but we've got to do that.
Back to Barkley, yes, he's got some experience, but the fact is he's a scout team guy during the week. The amount of time he actually had to prepare for a very difficult defense obviously is, I would assume, far lower than you'd want. But under those circumstances, was that putting him in a tough spot? He's one snap away, but how prepared could he have been?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the nature, as you know, Vic, of how when you're not the starter, what happens in the NFL and at most positions. Like I've said before, Matt has been in that position before. He's been there with us and with some other teams, and he has come in and done a nice job. So you better be prepared. You better do your due diligence in terms of your preparation mentally, if not physically, and Matt does both in this case, so he was prepared.
Sean, we put in a request with the league for more of an explanation of why Jones wasn't ejected after the hit, and it came back and said it didn't rise to the level of disqualification. What explanation did you get, if any, in the midst of all that down there when that happened?
Yeah, I asked for the same. I asked for an explanation, and I asked, I thought he should have been thrown out, but other than that, I'm not going to get into that at all. That's for the league to get into.
The challenge on the defensive pass interference or no call, did you see a pick play or what did you see on the field?
Yeah, that's what I saw. And when our player has to deviate like he did, when a player is not looking to run a route, I don't know what else it is after that. I understand 1 yard, all that type of stuff, but when our player is here and the player deviates to make sure our player can't run through, I don't know what it is. So.
Give you an explanation as to why they just kept the call as that.
No, and listen, that's not what won or lost the game, right? So it's keeping in perspective, right? So we're just trying to continue to have as much clarity as we can. They made the ruling, they stood by the ruling, and that's where we are. That's what we honor at this point. So, all right, thanks, guys.
That was head coach Sean McDermott. We heard him say that Josh Allen is unfortunately in the concussion protocol there due to that hit that he had late in the game. That's why Matt Barkley came in. What did you see with that hit? Are you as surprised as Coach McDermott was?
Well, obviously it's a hit that you don't want to see in the game, and you don't want a player like Josh taking, any player taking for that matter. The thing that I would say is like they said, it didn't seem like it was a malicious hit where he was intentionally trying to hurt Josh. He just went in to make a tackle, and unfortunately, Josh ended up getting hurt from it. And my understanding is there is no defenseless runner. Once you become a runner, you're a runner, and I think that's also something that they took into account.
Well, once Josh Allen came out, Matt Barkley came in, and I wasn't worried at all. Just like Coach McDermott said, Matt Barkley is a great backup quarterback. He's proved that with his time last season. He proved that in camp this past year. What did you see with Matt Barkley? He came in with poise and had a pretty good outing there.
Yeah, that's it. And a guy that's been around the league and a guy that, he puts in the work, he understands that you're one injury away from being in the game. So he prepares just like he's going to be the starter. Even though he's not taking those reps during the week, he's in the meetings. He's listening to whatever the coaches are breaking down for him. So he's prepared to go out there and play if his number is called. And he showed up today, and when his number was called, he was ready to step out on the field and make some plays.
A tough loss for the Bills in this one, but definitely some positives. So let's take a look at the highlights from today's game. Definitely a lot of anticipation going into today's matchup. After a Josh Allen pick, it's Brandon Bolden with the 4-yard touchdown. Patriots up 6-0 after a missed extra point. Next possession, Corey Bajorquez. His punt is blocked by J.C. Jackson. It's recovered by Matthew Slater for the touchdown. The Patriots lead at 13-3 at halftime. First possession of the third quarter, Josh Allen breaks the plane before the ball is knocked out. Touchdown, pulls the Bills within 3 after a field goal. It makes it 16-10 Patriots. Josh Allen keeper, he's crushed by Jonathan Jones. That's the play that took took him out of the game. The Bills go for it, 4th and goal. Matt Barkley's pass is tipped and it falls incomplete there. The Bills will be driving late, trying to get on the scoreboard. Matt Barkley is hit by Kyle Vanoy. His pass is picked by Jamie Collins, and the Patriots hold on for the 16-10 victory there. And now let's go over to Matt Barkley for his thoughts in the locker room after the game.
I feel like we got to do better. Football is a game about finishing, and didn't finish.
The second drive, it looked like you had a couple guys open, and there was I think it was the second drive after you went in.
I don't know the numbers of the drives, so.
But there were a few plays that looked like they were there, and the ball was just off target, or is it just because you were rusty, or what do you?
No, I'm not rusty. I'm just trying to make plays, trying to get just the timing with those guys. Thought some few throws were there, but I don't know which ones.
All right. How problematic not to feel like you guys kind of let them off the hook a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, especially with the way our defense played, and where we had the ball at the end of the game, it's tough. This one's tough.
The play in the 4th and 2. What was the attention on that? What were you trying to do on that play?
There was a man play on the backside, which they had 3 guys, and then a fade to Zay. So just got to make that play.
How tough was that defense? I mean, obviously they're very good and, frustrated you guys all day,
Yeah.
but what was it about them that really, frustrated you guys all day?
There's a lot of great players that have been in that system and know what they're doing, and they made plays when they had to.
Mitch was saying just a few minutes ago that, look, this could be a pivotal moment for you guys. You got to take this the right way and move forward. You can't let this be a deterrent.
Yeah.
Give me your opinion on that.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. I mean, it's week 4. It's not the end of the season, and the group of guys that we have in this locker room are resilient, and it sucks to lose like this, but they're a very good football team, and so I think we know what we're capable of. We just have to put it together as a team and not beat ourselves.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Matt Barkley came into the game, was a spark right away. He had that big play to John Brown, and they were moving the ball down the field on that last drive they got. Unfortunately, an interception by Jamie Collins. What did you see out of the way the offense operated on that last drive?
Well, there wasn't hiccups. You would think when a new quarterback comes in, there's going to be adjustments that have to be made. But when Matt came in, he knew what he was doing. He's been in the offense. He's with those guys every day, and they were able to continue to call their game plan. And one of the things I like that he was doing is he was making quick decisions. He was getting the ball out of his hand, right away, going through his progressions and getting the ball out of his hand. And anytime you do that, you give your playmakers a chance to make plays for you. And I think that was one of the things you saw as an improvement when he got in the game.
The defensive line, we talked about the Patriots' defensive line, the amount of pressure they were putting on the quarterback, whether it was Barkley, whether it was Allen. They were rushing 4. They weren't rushing everybody. What did the defensive line do to affect the quarterback, and why did you see Josh Allen struggle a little bit there?
Yeah, and I think Matt touched on it. There are a bunch of playmakers over there that have been in that system for a while, so they fed off of each other and they made plays doing exactly what they were trying to do. And you can see that they were rushing not to sack Josh, but to keep him in the pocket. And that's one of the things that they did well today. Their the guys on the back end of their defensive backs, the corners and safeties, were doing a great job plastering to their receivers, and there was nobody to throw to. And by the time that the play broke down, they were able to get home. And it's a tough situation for all those guys to be in, because you want Josh to get rid of the ball, obviously, but there's nowhere for him to get rid of it to. So there ended up being more sacks than plays made down the field.
You say there was nowhere for Josh to get rid of the ball to. We talked about it while we were watching the game together. These receivers weren't getting separation, but they weren't getting separation because they were going downfield. And when you go downfield against Stephon Gilmore and talented corners, it's very hard to get separation like that. So the key becomes the shorter routes in the game, right?
Yeah, I think so. When you have a weapon like Cole Beasley, one of the things that he does is he's a tremendous slot receiver. I think you put him in the middle of the field, let him run some intermediate routes, and no matter who's guarding him, he's going to get open. And he's the quarterback's best weapon or best friend in that situation. And all things that they can learn from. You got to give New England credit too. They had a game plan. They came in, they executed it, and they were able to get the victory today.
One bright spot on the offense today was Frank Gore. He had 17 carries for 109 yards, broke to 15,000 career rushing yards. That's an incredible stat. As a former running back, are you scratching your head at the fact that he's still so talented in the NFL?
I am. I absolutely love watching him play. You know, he's always been a grinder. There hasn't been a yard that he hasn't earned in his career. You know, he's continuing to do that now. So 15 years later, it's fun to watch him do what he's doing in the game. And, you know, I hope, you know, he continues to climb up that ladder and get more yards for this team and for himself.
Well, let's hear from the running back Frank Gore on his thoughts after today's game.
Start Wednesday, continue to practice the way we've been practicing, and that's and keep it moving. You know, we got a good team in Tennessee next week, but we get started tomorrow as a team. Just clean up and get going.
Frank, I know you can only run the plays that are called, but I don't believe you had a carry in the fourth quarter. Just how difficult is it in a game like that?
It's cool. You know, we believe in our coaches. You know, whatever our coach calls, we're gonna do it. It ain't, you know, just about me. You know, it's about all us. You know, we kept fighting as a team. You know, wish we'd have got the win, but we didn't. But you know, we're gonna clean up tomorrow, clean up our mistakes, and hitting the ground Wednesday. Keep practicing what we've been practicing.
I apologize for coming over late. You were probably asked, but just the significance and the meaning to hit 15,000 yards. I know it comes in a loss, but 4 guys now in NFL history. What's it mean to you?
Blessed. You know, blessed. You know, hard work, loving the game, and you know, and I want to say thanks to all the guys who helped me get it. You know, all my old linemen, receivers, coaches, and you know, now, you know, I just want to keep playing ball, and you know, and like I say tomorrow, you know, we need to, as a team, go clean up our mistakes, start Wednesday, and Wednesday we start back practicing the way we've been practicing and try to get a win next Sunday.
How about being alongside names like Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders for that mark of 15,000 yards?
It's big, you know, big, especially, you know, me coming out of college, you know, injuries, 2 ACLs, and, you know, a lot of guys doubted me, saying I won't be in the league 3 years, and I'm still going, still having fun, still having success. And like you say, man, it's a blessing to be mentioned with them guys, man. Guys who, you know, who I looked at when I was coming up, you know, want to build back. Looking at them, you know, kept want to go, you know.
Do you surprise yourself sometimes with what you're still able to do?
I don't think about it. I just, you know, I try my best, you know, if I'm feeling good, you know, and I know, you know, the whole season, you know, I train my behind off to keep going, to compete with my young guys, man. And, you know, whenever my number get called, I try my best to do whatever it takes to get a win.
Thank you, Frank.
I love Frank Gore's mentality. It has to rub off on the 23 new players, the several rookies on this team that are playing. He did an interview earlier this week, and he said, I love being here. I'm here for a reason. This place fits my style of play. What is Frank Gore's style of play, and why does it fit here in Buffalo?
He's just a hard worker, a grinder. You know, and he continues to grind. When the odds are against him, it doesn't matter. He doesn't listen to what's going on. Like he said, 2 ACL tears, you know, when he was coming out of college, and people said he wouldn't be around 3 years. It's 15 years later that he's gotten into the NFL. So he just continues to work. And when his number is called, when it's the opportunity is there for him to make a play for his team, he just goes out and he continues to grind. And, you know, that's what the city of Buffalo is about, just hitting the grind and continuing to work hard.
There's a lot of anticipation going into this game. A big question mark for, is this Bills defense serious? The Patriots average 408.3 yards per game. They had 224 yards today. So this Bills defense is pretty serious. Why were they successful? Why did they provide the right amount of pressure on Tom Brady today?
They've been playing well all year. And under Leslie Frazier and, you know, Sean McDermott, this defense just continues to make plays. And it doesn't matter who they're playing. They love the challenge of whatever team it is that they're coming up against. And it was a big challenge for them today. And just like always, they stepped up to that challenge. They made Brady uncomfortable. They took away playmakers like of his. And when their number was called, they stepped up and they gave the team every opportunity to win this game. And more plays made by the offense, you know, some plays not made on special teams is the reason that they lost this game today. And the defense is going to continue to play well for them. And as long as they continue to do that, they'll be in games like this. And with more offensive plays made, you know, they'll start getting W's.
In the NFL, it's all about learning from your mistakes. Unfortunately, they have to learn in this one with a loss. They're now 3-1 on the season. Hopefully, Josh Allen is back next week. Hopefully, he's healthy, but he has some things to learn from with the careless mistakes and things like that. What can the offense, the defense learn from this matchup today?
Oh, a lot of things. There's things that we can't see on film, knowing that what they're trying to accomplish in that film room. And there'll be a lot of things, so many things on film, you know. And like McDermott said it in his interview of the special teams punt block. You know, there's some cues that just didn't getting taken care of, and they'll go in and they'll watch stuff like that. They'll know what it is that they have to accomplish on offense when they're not able to get those deep balls down the field. They'll take advantage of some of those intermediate reps, and when they're paying attention to things like that, they'll continue to get better.
Hopefully they can only go up from today's game. For more analysis, more breakdown, more highlights, more post-game sound, make sure you head to MSG at 11:30 for Bills tonight. For Fred Jackson, I'm Maddie Glab. Thanks for joining us here.